We know about kayfabe is that he's a dog, and also it's participatory. And I think there's a difference we have going on, where one side acknowledges it and they participate knowing that it's rigged, right? And then there's this one, the other ones are just participating, they're playing along, they know it's rigged. There's a thing here going on where your acceptance of how to interface with kayfabe, how to participate in kayfabe, whether or not that includes the fact that it's fake and scripted or not, is it play? Is it play? I don't. You know, like I said, this was the edge of my thinking aloud. So the archetype, at least as far as I can tell, that I'm trying to manufacture as a TV station as part of mass media propaganda, is that of us as fire ants coming together in small intentionality networks that will eventually achieve synchronic harmony. Termino. We're into the sea of bullshit, forming small networks that will eventually come online. Now, I don't want to be an ant. Is that a shitty architect? So what the hell else do you have out there? Nothing.
Hello.
Why is the microphone? Oh, you're in a stream. You're doing a live stream. Yeah, okay. Where are you? 3 times. Uncale unbuffered. Uncale. A Grim Grizz live stream for July 24th, 2025. Holy smokes. You're so old now. Here, have this.
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear.
Oh no, it's Thursday. Yeah, oh dear.
Particularly, it was the notion of a union with Christ, and I'm talking about a participatory ontological union.
Okay, very interesting.
That's
Where just to interrupt briefly, where's the bifurcation point? Like, where does it go? Where does it go from what like you said there's a pivot point at which it moves away and loses touch. Where's that happening, and why did it happen?
Why did it happen? What is happening? I don't know, man. It's a rough one. The stream is like basically gonna be if I made the video, but I hadn't made it yet, so I'm just gonna do it on the stream. That's the kale part, the on kale part. You know, you can buy that shirt that's on the thumbnail. It should be in the store below. Everybody at Midwestuary wearing one of those shirts is going to win a special prize that I can't disclose. But wouldn't it be awesome if you were there at Midwestuary with us in the Uncle Kale shirt that says t-shirts or underwear, and he gets up to speak in front of people, and like 13 people in that t-shirt all stand up, and he has his own face staring back at him so many times. So many times. What is even going on today? LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard.
Breathe harder, breathe harder. Breathe harder, breathe harder. Breathe harder, breathe harder.
LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard.
Breathe harder, breathe harder.
That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. Oh, see, that was supposed to be the Midwestuary commercial, but I have the Thursday branding loaded because it's out of touch day. And I've been out of touch on a pretty deep StarCraft 2 binge. New season, I guess. We'll start with the savings throws versus mind control. You all remember how those go. It's you're swimming in mind control. In this particular stream from Kale, he's brought some pretty deep mind control himself. So you'll need the savings throw against that, plus all the branding I play.
Branded, marked with a coward shame. What do you do when you're branded? Will you fight for your name?
Whatever you do, you must fight for. See, I didn't have savings throws back when I was a little kid watching on the set, and it showed me that. And now I sing to you because of the branding they put in my brain. Similarly, you need savings throws against the mind control used here in this show. To get one, all you have to do is make a choice on how you will resist it. With your will to survival, your social network of friends, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart. Heart. So all you do is make a choice, and then I roll the die. If the die you choose comes up 10 or higher, you've made your savings throw. If it's under 10, you still take full damage. But if you make it, you take half damage. And that's a good deal. You can get bonuses to the roll by chatting in the chat, or, it's +5 if you comment on a replay. Yeah. So anyway, survival, social, wisdom, or heart. How will you resist the mind control? Choose. Oh, not a good day. Survivalist, that's a 4, 1 for each chamber. Socialist, you did fine. 16 for you, Paravates. Lovers of wisdom, bring forth the Trinity. That's a 3. Power of your heart, folks, you got disciples. half damage for you. See, disciples. Indigo kids, all 7 chakras. 7 for you. 7 for you. And now, I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head. Shake it up is all that we know. Using the bodies up as we go. I'm waking up to fantasies. The shades all around aren't the colors we used to see. Broken ice still melts in the sun, and times that are broken can often be won again. We're so alone, and so really matters to me. Take a look around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head. But first, we'll do a little tiny bit of adjunct professing on some chitty chitty bang bang thing we saw this morning. Because not only can you get the t-shirt on the thumbnail at the links below, you can also get this beautiful hat. Let's see what it in action.
You know, he figured out how on the with the catastrophe of 9/11, he was able to sell some property and then buy a vineyard. And you know, he's just a genius. And what I love about it, like Jordan, like most geniuses I know, they're hapless, unsuccessful people. Now, Jordan's been successful, praise God. I don't begrudge him any of the money or success that he's had. But because Jordan's success has been a very fruitful success and it's blessed many people. But Stephen, you know, he's not been enormously successful, but if you listen to his conversation with Seabax, I can at least put the link below. Maybe I'll add some of them in here. I don't know what I'm going to do because it's raining today. And on one hand, we want to go out and see parks. And on one hand, I don't want to leave this horrendously expensive Airbnb because I've paid money for it after all, or my wife has.
All right. First of all, I have to confess that is a complete fail. I simply, as you can't see, but I opened the transcript for this video here, and I searched the word genius, and it turned out to be him talking about Stephen at that part, but it was supposed to be right now. Oh, because you closed. Where's the transcript now? Show it, and then search it. Gee, what is even happening? My God, man. This is on Kale on Buffer stream, which we'll get through together. Hopefully feeling virtually not alone.
You know, phones and pot and mind control.
There's a lot of whistling past the graveyard going on, for sure.
Whistling past the graveyard. That's a good one.
Yeah. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. You know,
everyone's going to see a lot of that. You understand? Did you know that guy who just whistled for you is on tour? Yes, he's doing a tour of America on this. Share this tab and stop. Why are you not present the tab? Okay, the Remember Embody road trip. Look at them go. They started way over on the right there in the green dot of Massachusetts, and they went. You can't see my mouse. This is so unfortunate. They went all the way to the left, and then look, we're right by Midwestuary, but nope, we'll be back. And then they went down to DC, and then they came and saw what? They came and saw me. Yeah, if you go to videos on their channel, you can see his long ones. He's got this nice long form ones, but like that. Wait, share this tab instead. This one that is the most recent release long form one is from way over on the East Coast at the McMo part. So they're behind on those. But now that after visiting with Grimgriz, they have learned to make the shorts, and you can see things like this.
Here is Venice Beach, California. We attended an estuary last night in LA, and tonight we're going to another.
Unfortunately, that's gonna get the stream shut, because shorts are allowed to use music that streams can't. Shorts are allowed to use music that stream can't. Do the other one then. Fine. This one was nice.
We are currently headed through Arizona. Check out this huge crack in the earth we found. We are currently headed through Arizona.
Oh dear, so many fumbles. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best. So if you are going to attend Midwestuary, you should probably buy your tickets. I'm supposed to be there. Let's see if I make it at the link above, at the link at the top of the chat, to see if I'm able to make it. I apparently have the ticket part under control, but I have to get gas money and or lodgings arranged between now and like 2 days less than a month. Anyway, I'm going to get my head straight to practice this song, because there will be a sing-along at Midwestuary, from what I understand.
People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Man, it keeps hiding this transcript on me. I don't like that at all. Oh, wait. He said there was a problem with the hootenanny. Let's see if that's true. Let's investigate the immediate. It's important to us that there's nothing wrong with the Ko-Fi link, so we have to check it out now over here. We click it, and it goes to the Ko-Fi page. I don't know what the problem with the link is, Chad. Try again. Try harder. Try harder. Now we have things sorted. See, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is we're going to pull this Blue Church card of the show and then run the Pastor Paul clip where he says I'm a genius. And then we're going to do the transcript search and see how many times in that video he said the word shitty. Shitty, chang. That's what we're going to do. And the Blue Church card of the show part is the 5 of diamonds. I don't know that that's ever been pulled before. Let's check with the team, shall we? Check with the team on that. Share this tab instead. And then we'll go over here. We'll do this one for a minute where we're looking for the word genius. And Jordan's a genius. He's a genius. But very particular. Oh, yeah, there's me. Here you go. Here's the part about me by the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. I have to show you.
Constraints, and it's constraints that create beauty. Again, Karen Wong, The Meaning Code, one of her seminal observations in the corner. Part of why I love the corner is that we've got a whole bunch of mediocre people here who, because of their particularities, have unique and sometimes specialized geniuses of their own. And Grim Grizz is perhaps the best example. The guy's a genius, but he's a very particular genius. He's sort of like Tom Bombadil of a forgotten Oklahoma Air Force town.
It's a black hole. Really hard to get out of. Let's see. Shit. And I think that's the one that the Bombadil part is a hell of a compliment. Oh wait, see, I'm doing that. Why is it with it? And then show the transcript, and then shitty. It's like there was 5 of it just on the page before I opened the transcript. So only 43 times did it seem to catch it. There we go. A lot of people said it in the comments. Is why. Okay. He says.
YouTube is for shitty videos, and I make plenty of them.
And then
with all the shitty videos, the whole purpose.
And then
just the way YouTube works, generally speaking. Most of my shitty videos. I think we can stop there.
Phones and pot and mind control.
All right, and now I have this hell of a card. It's got a bunch of stuff on it. Part of which there's one that doesn't really fit with the presidency. If I do this right, I'll be able to just slice off the streamy parts of the stream, and this will be a video afterwards. We're gonna try that. But part that does not fit that we want to cover in is, I think, is it that bit or is it this bit? Yeah, I think it's this bit actually.
But what I'm doing instead is, when I had that cast, I'm trying to give you an idea of what I felt at different moments in my life about the future. When I got this cast, it was like a year or so that I had this weird pain inside my wrist. If I really push it, I can feel it again, but basically I never feel it. And I kind of thought, okay, this is what getting old is like. I'm going to have these endless pains and stuff. No.
That's the anadromist, Burn Powers, and his happy birthday. He's 70 now, stream. Apparently, Pastor Paul, this guy over here turned 62 tomorrow. It's a birthday season, which means a lot of people seemingly have sex in September.
and pot and mind control.
Put a title up when I remember it. But, and I'm just going to leave this all in with all the weird edits, because the crickets aren't going to stop. And, you know, I have to leave this in. So I'm going to keep in all the animal sounds and the drink of water and all of that, because that's part of the whole experience. And I'm sweating.
Good morning, Dwayne here, Tack Room Bible Talk. If you hear a little bit of buzzing in the background, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on and try it. I got a generator running outside and an air conditioner in here in the tack room because it's been so incredibly humid here. I'm really having the trouble with the mold and the musty smell, mold on the tack and the saddles and stuff. So I think we're getting it under control. But that's why we're running that in there. So I hope it doesn't mess up the video.
A
little bit hotter in the kitchen than normal, but I was cooking something with a lot of splatter, so I had the fan on. And you know, I'm cooking and I'm doing my thing and doing a little bit of this, that, and the other. And you know, I'm just sort of feeling kind of on edge. And you know, when you're focused on cooking, you know, whatever, you're just doing the thing. And then, you know, I reached a stopping point and I sit down in one of the chairs next to the stove, and I realized that like I'm going nuts, and it's because it's the dang fan. The fan is on, so I go on over there and I shut it off because everything is sort of now on a low simmer, and I just have this. All I can say, I kind of like a psychic calm sets in, and you know, I realized that this fan, which is performing a function, there's nothing wrong with the fan, although I guess it probably could have been a better fan. But anyway, my point here is that the fan was sort of overwhelming my senses, kind of in the background. You know, just this running thing that's sort of driving me a little bit batty, and it reminded me of something that I came across the other day when I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Chris Williamson again, and he had on this guy, Dr. Lyle, and he's written a book on MK Ultra. And in that book, he's talking about Dr. Donald Cameron, who was involved with MK Ultra, and he was really into this concept called psychic driving. And I want you to sort of hear me here. Psychic driving.
Is one of the most renowned psychiatrists in the world, really. He, at one point, he was the head of the American Psychiatric Association, the Canadian Psychiatric Association, and the World Psychiatric Association. So if you're going to commit yourself to anyone, well, this guy certainly shouldn't he know, what to do. So they thought they were getting tried and true treatments that would help them. Instead, he was using them as guinea pigs in his experiments that eventually would be funded by MK Ultra. And it's especially ironic because Ewan Cameron was one of the psychiatrists who evaluated the Nazi German prisoners at the end of World War II to determine whether they're fit to stand trial. These are the same Nuremberg trials that produced the Nuremberg codes about ethical experiments,
Okay, we mentioned about the psychic driving thing, this repetition over and over. What was that?
Yes, psychic driving. This was by a psychiatrist named Ewan Cameron in Montreal. He was working at the Allen Memorial Institute. He had dreams of becoming the next Sigmund Freud. He was going to win a Nobel Prize in medicine. At least he thought he was. He was going to cure all mental illness. He just didn't know how. Like he knew he was destined for greatness, but he didn't know how. From your environment. So everything is nurture, nothing is nature. And so in his conception, what mental illness is a person who has learned bad behaviors from their environment. And if you want to correct mental illness, what you should do is reduce them back to a blank slate where they forget all their behaviors and then put them in a better environment where they learn better behaviors. That's his conception, at least. The question is then, how do you reduce someone to a blank slate and make them forget these bad patterns of behavior that he thinks leads to mental illness? In his conception, you have to induce enough stress in them. If you induce enough stress, then that will reduce them to the blank slate. And like God, we can build them back up in our image. So
is that if you played a repetitive message on headphones, that it could induce a kind of not psychosis exactly, but a kind of the power of suggestion. That sort of you could set in some kind of mind control. But it got me to thinking of AirPods. And all you have to do, of course, is just go out and about, and you can see that everybody wears AirPods all the time. And maybe not two of them, but maybe just one of them. And I don't know, in my head, I kind of made a comparison, not that super sinister Apple is trying to psychically drive us to do something, but what if there's some kind of comparison to be made between having music or podcasts or YouTube or shorts constantly playing in your ear? Does it induce some kind of break between where you are physically and where you are mentally? And of course, if you add in the very available on the street when I was a kid, but my point here is that are we inducing ourselves into some kind of psychically driven headspace with the ubiquity of the AirPods and uh, being on some kind of mood or mind altering drug? Um, phones and pot and mind control. And it's not, words have a way of popping back into your head and suddenly turning just ever so slightly so that you can hear something or see something in a word that you didn't notice before. And so this happens to me all the time, especially since I
remember Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best.
etymology. And so that word influence pops into my head. And so I did a little, poking around, and the word influence etymologically means a kind of flowing into, or a kind of visitation. So it has a kind of a spiritual overtone. And as I and so the conception of the human person in pre-modernity, in the Middle Ages and early Renaissance, and sort of and before, was that we were fundamentally porous, that we had spirits and things flowing in and out of us. Whereas now, in 2025, although maybe some of this is breaking down a little bit, but in 2025, we have this notion what Charles Taylor calls the buffered self, and he doesn't mean buffer like to shine, but buffered as in sort of protected. That nothing gets in and nothing really goes out. That we're kind of in control of our person, and I think that this is not true. I don't believe in the buffered self. I believe that we are influenced by all kinds of things in a non-physical, non-material way. Or under the influence of some kind of drug, we can be under the influence of a strong personality. In one of my favorite novels that I teach, called Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev, a young character has a new friend. Arkady has a new friend, Bazarov, and Bazarov is a very strong personality. He's a proud nihilist. He calls himself a nihilist. I think it's the first time nihilism shows up in literature. And the idea is that sort of he believes in nothing, but he's a very strong personality, and he's charming. He's even dazzling to some people, but highly offensive of Bazarov. And so we have, I think, deep seated into the language and in our social imaginary, this idea that we can be greatly influenced by someone. I mean, this is the basis for advertising, right? Madison Avenue, Mad Men, right, were operated under the principle that you could influence someone to purchase an item if you had a good ad, or if you had a star or an athlete who endorsed a product, right, that would influence me or you or anybody else to purchase a product that we might not otherwise pull the trigger on. And so emotionally, my mind works. I see these old books, I see these motifs, these ideas in old books. Well, how does this play out in our own world? And so, influence is a kind of psychic driver. And for a very long time, prior to the media age, influence was primarily done person to person. And when you were in close proximity with a charismatic person, someone who has riz, as the kids say, you were more prone to do something that you would otherwise not do. And you can do forward. Girls have their versions that they tend toward, but all of us are essentially not buffered. We are deeply porous beings and creatures, and we can be tricked, spellbound, dazzled by someone's charisma to do something we wouldn't normally do.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
So this naturally, for me it's natural, this brings me to the idea of the influencer. And when did that word start becoming used in the way that we use it? Well, the word influencer has a curious and I think appropriate history. In 1664, an English writer by the name of Henry Moore wrote a book in which he talks about influencers. And when Moore is talking about influencers, he's talking about it in the sense of, a figure in power in some kind of religious or spiritual context that can influence how you behave, how you think, how you feel. Behave, think, feel. Those are really powerful, powerful forces. And it really you can be influential for being an influencer. And so this idea of an influencer is someone who can wend themselves into your psyche non-physically in order to get you to do something, to do things. And so do we exist in a kind of always already altered psychic state because we're constantly listening to something?
I wonder how much it kind of actually stifles my social qualities, even here in home. How being able to access what I want when I want, how that might actually kind of distort reality in a way where I become less and less patient. And
what kind of altered state do we constantly live in because we are in essence being psychically driven all the time? Now, and is that these things psychically drive us, they influence us in terms of giving us mimetic models, with mimesis and mimetic desire. Now, of course, we're firmly into the terrain or the territory of Rene Girard and all of his ideas, which I think are apt in the context of this conversation. But how cognizant of this always being influenced reality are we? And if we are having these messages constantly piped into our ears vis-a-vis ear pods, if we're constantly in a state of some kind of pharmacological confound, what does that do to us, our sense of who we are, our sense of what we want, our sense of all of these things? And it can be a little bit of a black hole. And so what is a stay against being constantly influenced, to be constantly under this state of being psychically driven? Well, I think quiet is important. It is a commodity. It is a way in which we can meet ourselves, curiously enough. And so the need for contemplation, contemplative prayer, the need for meditation is all the more prevalent, it seems to me. I wonder how much having constantly piped in messaging is keeping us from meeting ourselves. It just robs us, I think, of a sense of being present to ourselves. And I believe that when we abandon the act of contemplation, when we abandon being alone with ourselves and our own thoughts, when we abandon prayer, when we abandon these meditative practices, what are we susceptible to? Because we are not buffered. We are hyperporous, I would argue. And we're hyperporous in ways that would, I think, surprise us if we really sort of sit down and think. Now, those people who are in the habit of mind, the habit of being, to read and to pray and to contemplate, those people have a kind of superpower, because they're ultimately way more in control of their attention than most of us are on any given day. And what are the costs for us for being divorced from ourselves, from those inner voices, as we talk with one another? What are the costs of losing that sense of self? Have you got other message? So the price of always being connected, ironically, is that you're always disconnected. You're always disconnected from where you currently are in real life, in meat space. So for us olds, that's one thing. But what if the entirety of your formation exists in this hyperporous digital reality that is all you've ever known? So much psychic energy to contemplate these complex works. And so
that's the distillation version. Remember it.
There is no agency. We want
phones and pot and mind control.
Did you get that on video? No. Mom, I'm not going. No, that's I'll show you later. Look, the gator, obviously. Send me that.
All right then. So that's the title delivery. Be sure to click below and get your t-shirts or underwear shirts. Oh no, that's the thumbnail delivery. The title delivery is "Where are you?" 3 times. It's on the card too here. You see, "Where are you?" MBS. Mentally, where are you? Or when you're mowing the lawn, especially. That was one of the first places I went into, a mental place that was separate from the physical place when I was lawn mowing. But so we know "Where is my mind" is a song that people sing sometimes. No, and but where are you spiritually? Where are you physically? Where are you spiritually? And I know mentally you're here being virtually not alone with us because of this magic bubble that has appeared by the power of our communalness being together, even asynchronously.
I'm not a cat.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Rejoice, although this world will devastate you. And rejoice, although this world will penetrate you. And rejoice, although you will not survive. Rejoice, you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice, despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice, despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice, despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're...
Rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best. Hooray. There was a thing. Oh, it's Thursday. And so we must therefore then go to our good friend Miriam. You see, as it turned out, I was walking in the kitchen earlier and defenestry came into my mind. And defenestration is the act of throwing a person out a window. Out the window. Such a magical, specific word. Nothing quite like defenestration. But we go to the word of the day and we get the secret message, Miriam, by playing the words of the day from the last 5 words and then seeing what the secret message is. And come have a drink. What?
Panacea.
No, a panacea is something that's regarded as a cure-all.
Panacea.
Pan means all and acea must mean curing. Oh.
Logie.
It's like sluggish and groggy. Logie describes a person who is not able to think or move normally because they're in their phone brain.
Logie.
What?
Jettison.
The jettison, that you get rid of it. You fenestrate it if there's a window nearby because it's not needed or because it's impeding your progress.
Hubris.
That's a formal and literary word that refers to a great or foolish amount of pride and confidence.
Utmost.
That's something the greatest or highest. So the the panacea of the logie. Okay. So the secret word, the phrase from Miriam is quite obviously that the
panacea
of the
logie
is to
jettison
his
utmost hubris.
I mean, obviously, right? Obviously.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
Or maybe you should quick get your tickets to
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreer, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
Yes, Hola is the new Halo game that's ethnically diverse. A Calapagian is what the fuck, Brian? Jeez. Calapagian.
Calapagian.
What?
Calapagian.
Oh, and you had to turn it sexual and gross. Man, that lady's
Calapagian.
Look at how calapagious she is. So I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you at Midwestuary or on the next stream. Watch out for the video, the edit of all that stuff you just saw again. No, man, you had like way too few cards of the show because it was just a bunch of clip videos. Now you got to run on. The bonus after feature. You know, it's funny. I go and I watch the YouTube statistics. You can see how many people drop off when the train starts. It's fascinating. These guys are getting the extra credit. Card of the show. The casino deck's 4 of spades. The casino deck has a 4 of spades for the day. What does the Jux deck? The Jux deck comes from those Firebird people, the Dirt Poor Robins. They play music. You should check out their song Mad Gods because it's probably about me. What? No. What? Jux deck card of the show is the Queen of Hearts. Let's turn that over. Let's turn that over for whatever magic that does. Whatever magic. And now the base. We need a base. We need a red church card of the show. How are we going to do? Let's try this. We bring this guy up, and then we can run. No. What is? Dude, now I'm gonna have to. All right, you're gonna have to get branding before the red church card of the show. Hold on. Which one do you want the most? You know, for Cale's sake, he'd be mad this wasn't in it.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
And today, bringing to you a very special clip from our one-day friend, Ed Dutton, who's been on the Benjamin Boyce show much like myself. That's right, you can search Grim Grizz and Benjamin Boyce, and Benjamin Boyce and Ed Dutton, and watch both of those episodes, probably. Bringing to you this card of the show from the Red Church. From the Red Church is the Deuce. A deuce of diamonds from Dutton. Dutton, his, what do you call it there? Go ahead, let the left euthanize their offspring.
You must not worship the Lord your God in the way that they do, because in worshipping their gods, they do all kinds of detestable things which the Lord hates. They even burn their sons and daughters in the fire as sacrifices to their gods. Hello, 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 and welcome to this edition of the Jolly Heretic. Now, today I would like to talk about the fact that England has now moved from clown world to Sodom. And it has made that transition because Parliament has voted by an overwhelming margin for infanticide. It is voted